Yes, like you read it in the title of this video, it is true, also in my opinion, also in my experience, that what you desire, in a sense, also desires you back. In a sense, wants you to manifest it. But what is meant by that? I want to dive right into that, and I also want to make sure that you're aware that what you truly desire also desires you. Because sometimes we think we desire something, but actually that is only our mind's translation of what we think we want. But actually there's like a quality, a state behind that we actually want, but we haven't purified it yet, so to speak, or we're not authentic to ourselves. We can't self-admit that, hey, what I actually want is maybe that, but I think it should be that. So it's very interesting. I will also talk more about this during the video, but again, generally speaking, it is true. What you do desire, what you want from life, also actually wants you. So how can you manifest it? What does that mean? I want to dive in with a quote from Neville, and then we're going into the details. So like Neville said, stop asking yourself whether you're worthy or unworthy to receive what you desire. Right? Stop asking yourself, oh, am I good enough? Am I worthy? Is this possible? Because again, and this is something that we will discover during this video, what you do desire, that desire state already is in existence. So therefore, yes, you can manifest it, and most likely it is even very relevant to you. That's why you specifically desire it. Okay, so let us just dive right in. Now, this is the agenda for today's video. We're going to talk about, and this is very, very important, we're going to talk about how do you perceive your desires. Because if you perceive your desires as something that you have to struggle for, something that makes you suffer, something that shows you what you're lacking, something that's not possible, you will seemingly suffer when you have desires. If you see your desires as existing states that wait for your occupancy, that waits for you to claim them, to accept that they are available, possible, and that it's already done in a sense, if you change the way you perceive your desires, that can be super helpful, and you then actually see your desires for what they actually are meant to be, and you are not staying in this old paradigm. Also, we're going to talk about, right, what you want wants you. What does that mean? I'm giving you a deep explanation on the subject. I will share some quotes from Neville Goddard with you, right? Quotes where he also explained this, that what you desire desires you. I'm going to show you an illustration which I used in like an older video on my channel, and I read some comments that people found this illustration to be one of the best that I've ever seen, or at least like a very, very helpful illustration to understand that our desires are states that are already inside of ourselves, right? States that we don't have to seek out there, but we have to more like surrender to internally. I will show you this illustration on the hidden identity. And then, last but not least, we're going to talk about how you can manifest this hidden identity. Because we will learn in this video that a desire, it's nothing more than a currently hidden identity. Something in a sense that's not scratched free so that you can see it. It's a hidden identity that already exists with all its manifestations. So how can you step into this hidden identity of yours so that it reveals itself and is also seen in the outside world? Okay, so let's just dive right in. And first of all, let's talk about how do you perceive your desires. So do you perceive them as something you have to work towards and you have to work hard for? Or maybe do you perceive them as something that seems unattainable, far away, separate from you, that is complicated to get, that you have to suffer for, right? Something that is there to let you suffer. You feel this lack of, I want this, but I don't have this. Or I want to be this, but I'm not this yet, right? And then you feel the lack of it. If you perceive your desires like that, like I said in the beginning of the video, then of course it won't feel nice when you get a new desire. But if you adopt this new paradigm that I'm going to teach you in this video, if you adopt the way that you should actually see your desires, which is something that is already available here now, right? That you reveal by identifying with it, that you express, that you externalize, that is mirrored back to you when you shift into it. Something that wants to be expressed, because that's why you have the desire. But I don't have the desire right now to be an author, to live in New York, to move there, to be a footballer, to do this, to do that. No, but you might have those desires. You might have completely different desires than the ones that I just mentioned. But you and me, we probably have some similar desires, right? More general speaking, money, love, wealth, health, all of that. But then in between life, there are dozens of subjective desires that only you have. And they are there because This is your guide. But more on that in just a second. Right, but that's the first slide. How do you perceive your desires? So I want you to, from now on, start to see your desires as something good. Those are opportunities for you to outgrow your current circumstances, your current level of consciousness. Desires are gifts, something that allows you to elevate yourself up into a new state where things are as you want them to be. So desires are also solutions to your current problems. You have current problems, current unfavorable, undesirable circumstances, out of which you have the desire to have something else present in your life. And what's the solution to the problem? That's your desire. So the desire is something good. It's not something bad, right? And let me explain a little bit more to you on that, right? So you can only desire something that is already existing. How can you desire a red car if you would not know that a red car exists? How can you desire a loving partner if that would not be possible? If you cannot be internally already in that mood of what it would be like to be with a loved partner, to be with your desired partner, right? Whatever you can desire, those are states that are invisible, that are unoccupied, that are as long as you keep thinking of them, as long as you keep desiring them, they will remain, like Neville said, mere possibilities. Once you start to step into them, they will become your reality. They will become who you are, what is true for you, because internally you are it. And then what you are on the inside is reflected back. Right? So your desires are nothing you have to strive towards. Your desires are nothing that you get on the outside. Your desires are nothing that you get on the outside. It's not over there. You don't attain your desired outcomes over there. You attain your desired outcomes within, and then whatever is needed for you on the outside, whatever you need to do, to make happen, to not do, to avoid, to do more of, that is what you will do so that you end up with your desired circumstance. But it will all be orchestrated automatically through this state that you occupied. So it's within you. How can you strive for something that is already inside of you? How can you suffer for something, bleed for something that is in you now, available right now, fully done? It's not possible. So your desires are nothing you have to strive towards, that you have to earn yourself, that you have to prove to someone, that you have to first meet a certain requirement that now you're worthy of it, or that you have to reach on the outside, or that is separate from you, that is somewhere far away, and maybe you get it in 3 years. Now that end state, how you now want to feel, what now you want to have a life, if your circumstance would be a certain way, the state that you would be in is now already inside of your awareness, available. It's now accessible, maybe hidden, maybe buried. That's why we will later talk about the hidden identity. It is hidden. We have to scratch it free, right? We have to shine our light of awareness on it. We have to occupy it. We have to fuse with it, become one with it, dwell in it, and then we will express it. But that means that the desired state is already in us, right? So your desire is your currently hidden identity, a currently non-occupied state, right? But a also already existing state. It's just not occupied. That's why you hunger for this state. And then you start to satisfy the hunger for this state by seeing the world from it, by thinking from it, by being in it. And then you no longer desire it. Then you are it. So your desires are already part of you. Otherwise, you could not desire it. That is, first of all, the core message here. That is, when you got a desire, it is attainable. When you got a desire, it is something you can manifest. Because when you got a desire, it is something that you can imagine as done. And what you can imagine already is in existence. That state exists. So desiring a state means having that state, means that this state is available in you. So desires are gifts, opportunities to elevate, outgrow your present level, shift into a new state, and see new circumstances. So desires are something good. They help you expand. Without desire, there would be no movement in humankind. Desire is the motor element for growth, for shifting our attention to like new things, give focus to new things. So like I said here, right, desires are invitations for new experiences. The question whether it is possible or not to manifest X, Y, and Z falls away naturally since you can imagine it. So even, and that's the next point, right? It doesn't matter if someone has achieved what you desire or not. Let's just say you desire $10,000 a month, but no one in your family has done it. Well, you can imagine it, right? Or even if you desire something and you know no one in your circle, in your environment, you know no one at all who did that. Or maybe you want to move somewhere and live with 3 friends there. something, I'm just making things up. But it doesn't matter. You know, the benchmark, if the benchmark whether someone had already achieved it, there would be no progress in this world. How could Steve Jobs have invented the iPhone? There was no iPhone there. He desired that revolution. He desired that phone looking that way. He imagined it. He designed it. He visualized it. It was then brought also into the 3D world, but it was not there before. So no matter what you desire, it is possible because you can desire it. So it doesn't matter if someone else has done it or not. You can desire it. It exists as a potential state. There's nothing to fight for when everything you will ever desire is already within creation, within consciousness, within you. Because the world is inside of you. Right? Although, like Neville said, although it appears without, it is within. And this external world is like the shadow. It's like we always move within first and then our outer self moves. We imagine we go to the grocery store, then our outer self will go there. We imagine that we meet this friend, then we will call him and arrange a date. You know, that's always how it goes. Inner movement first, outer movement follows the inner movement, right? And within, we can move into any possible state because every possible state exists because creation is finished, because everything you can imagine does exist. You can right now imagine being on this island, on this beach, in this city, in your friend's house, being here, being there, at this time, at this year. Imagination has no limitation. 3D world, we experience time and space. Imagination, everything is here now, right? So let's continue. So like Neville said, this is the quote from the beginning and also its second part. Stop asking yourself whether you're worthy or unworthy to receive what you desire. You as man, you as woman, you as the outer you, so to speak, did not create the desire. Your desires are ever fashioned within you because of what now you claim yourself to be. In your current state, you now have the desire for this, and that. Once you shift into that state, well, in that new state that you've shifted into, you will have new desires present. Every state comes with its own limitations and comes also with new desires. Mostly. So to desire a state is to have it. The universe is not outside of you. Look inside yourself, and everything that you want, you already are. From Rumi, a great mystic, author as well. So now I want to show you this illustration that I mentioned, which I perceive as really, really helpful, and I do my best right now to explain it the best way, very consciously, to you right now, so that you can adopt this in your paradigm, because I think it is just so helpful in order to how you view the world and how you manifest, right? So what do we see? We see a piece of marble, big piece of marble. We see this person here, this sculptor who is like having a hammer, and he's basically, creating this a masterpiece, right? He's basically creating this out of this piece of marble. So what most people think is that they are, in a sense, they think that they need to get their desired self and the manifestations in the future, right? That their desired self is something that is far away over there, like we said in the beginning, right? Something outside of them, something that's hard to attain, something that needs effort, something that they have to become, in a sense, right? So the current paradigm is that you would be in that, if we take it to that piece of marble example here, so you would be that piece of marble, and eventually you would become that masterpiece, right? You would become that desired self and its manifestations, right? So it's something you become, you work towards. It's like you do a lot of stuff to get it. That's one paradigm, and that's the paradigm that a lot of people are subscribed to. I'm not here to push any paradigms onto you. I'm just sharing with you what I feel is more empowering, helped me, and feels truer than other paradigms that might be old and no longer serving us, right? So one paradigm is that our desires are separated from us. We need to get them. They're out there. We need to work towards them to get them at some point. What is the new paradigm? What is the more, let's just say, helpful paradigm? Well, see the shift. Okay, I want you to see the shift here. Look at this change. What changes? What changes? The new paradigm is that already existing within that piece of marble is that masterpiece, right? That masterpiece which we just saw it's like already hidden inside of here. That's the end result, by the way. So that's inside here, and the sculpture basically only revealed it, but it's already there. You know what I mean? If I I go back here, right? That's the masterpiece. That's who we want to be. That's what we want to become. We think that's hard work and all of that. But the sculpture already sees that masterpiece inside that block of marble, right? So it already knows that, wait, I just reveal it. I just remove the parts of the marble that hide that identity, right? That hide that masterpiece that he wants to reveal. But actually, it's already there. And so it is with your desired self, right? Your desired self, your desired state, it's already within your potential. It's already in your awareness. It's already in your awareness. And by you scratching it free, by you now assuming that you are now it, all the marble, which means all the circumstances that don't align with that, all the thoughts that don't align with that, all the beliefs that don't align with that, they will automatically fall away because you have identified in your potential, you have identified yourself with your desired self. This is so incredibly powerful, guys. Like, you watching this right now, I don't care if your name is Eric, Mark, Marina, Erica, you listening to me right now, I really want you to now understand this. Be very conscious right now. Understand. Again, I go back one more time. Understand that your desired state is not something that you, with hard work, in a sense, you can become, in a sense. Your desired level of consciousness is in existence since creation is finished. Your desired state, your desires, they exist right there, but they're not outside of you. You don't get them. You reveal them by understanding that your desired state is inside of you. You occupy that state. You know it's already in you. You fuse with it. You imagine yourself to be it now. You see the world already through the eyes of that desired self, although the circumstances are still the old. And then all the marble, so to speak, that hides the manifestation will automatically fall away, and your desired self also will be expressed. So now let's continue on that. So the question is, how do I reveal my hidden identity? How do I reveal now this unoccupied state, which we now saw how it works? So by assuming that you are it now. You bring the wish fulfilled in the here now. You don't let the wish fulfilled remain something that's out there in the future, hopefully happening soon, being separate from you. No, you understand that the wish fulfilled, that this desired state is now available in you. You can now within move yourself into that state where you now have it, where you now are. Right? So you imagine something that implies you are your desired self. You imagine, you view the world through the lenses, through the state of your desired self, of the version of you that has already achieved the goal. Right? There is nothing to wait. What happens when you wait for a change? What happens when you wait for desires and see them as something in the future? You indicate to the mirror of life that you are not having it yet, that it's not done yet, that you're waiting, that you're trying to get it, that you're trying to work towards it. What do you expect the mirror to reflect back? I don't have to answer that question. It will reflect back. I'll answer it anyways. It will reflect back more waiting, more delay, more struggle. There's nothing to wait. Every state is available right here, right now. You are the operant power. You determine which identity state you occupy. The hidden identity will start to be your visible identity, right? You will live from the new state. So now you want to have more money, and people around you would call you crazy when you tell them, like, yeah, I have more money. I assume that I have more money. I will manifest more money. They'll tell you, look at you. You don't even have a job. Look at you. You don't even know where will that money come from. You don't even have an idea. Right? They will reflect back some of these doubts that you have alive inside of you. But that hidden identity, that identity which you internally subjectively appropriate, that which you subjectively give yourself and make true for yourself and identify with internally and assume to be true for yourself and make natural for you, right, with those principles, that still currently hidden identity, it only feels true for you. At some point, right, as you stay in it, that will also be revealed, and then others will know you to be in that identity. That will be your visible identity. Others will know you as the one that has a lot of finances. Others will know you as the one that's healthy. Others will know you as the one that's happy. Whatever. Now it's also visible to them. Now they will also see it. But you brought it into the visible. You let it harden into fact because you have assumed and stayed in that unseen assumption. Right? So desire is hidden identity. I love that quote. Right? Desire is hidden identity. Desiring something means that this is a hidden identity that is already available. Otherwise, how could you desire for that identity if you would not have the knowing of it. Like, whatever you can desire is there. So what I want, I already have. Let that sink in. What you want, you already do have, but you don't have it in your current level of consciousness. You don't have it in your present state. Right? Believing I already have it, it must appear. How can we believe something for which our senses and our rational mind has no reason to believe it? Through our imagination, through internally the unseen reality, right? The subjective world, through dwelling in the subjective world, dwelling there till it becomes natural. Then we start to believe it because we dwell there, and then it becomes certain, believable. We get faith. We have this knowing. We feel like it is done. It is externalized. You are already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe it, right? The fact that you refuse to believe it is the only reason you do not see it on the outside as well. When the desire is upon you, that is a time to accept your wish in its fullness. Perhaps there are reasons why the urge is given to you at this time. Your three-dimensional being may think it cannot be now, right? So you have a desire, I want that car. Of course, your mind thinks, if you have no money for that, or not enough money for that, or you want that relationship and you see no bridges unfolded so far, or you want anything, your mind, your three-dimensional being, will think it cannot be now, will see no reason, will have no belief. But your fourth-dimensional mind, aka your imagination, which is not bound to time and space, knows it already is, because it can already dwell in an experience where you have it. It can already dwell in that state where you have it, where you are it. So the desire should be accepted by you as a fact now, as existing and being there now. And with that, I want to conclude this video. So if that makes sense to you, and if we go back to the beginning, then you know by now that what you desire desires you, right? Because what you desire is something that exists, and you have that desire because that wants to be expressed through you. People have different desires. Some are similar in a general way, but some are also very unique. So your desire is something that exists. It's already, in a sense, even close to you, because it's like, so to speak, close in your subjective field of awareness, so you can shift into it and you can manifest it, right? If you need help with that, if you want to reveal a currently hidden identity, if you have something that you desire, which is right now, not in your circumstances, and you want help by shifting in that, remaining there, and also avoiding pitfalls that a lot of people fall into, you want a community around you, you want me in your corner, access to me, coaching, hangouts with my community, and all of that, then I want you to join us today. The second link in the video description, very affordable investment. You can cancel anytime. Join us, check it out. There's no risk, in a sense, included. And I look forward to see you inside, so that we can also help you to shift into your desired state, so that they can reveal, so that they can express, so that they can externalize in the world of facts, in what we call the reality. But that's a mirror of the reality within, in which all of your desired states exist. But they will only remain possibilities. They will only remain, let's just say, options, right, and potentials, as long as you don't accept your desire as now true, as long as you don't start to occupy that version of you that already lives your desired life, that already has your desired circumstances. Only once that fusion happened, when your awareness shifted into that, only then can also the projector, so to speak, project that into your outer circumstances. So that is it. What you desire desires you. I look forward to speaking to you in the next one. Bye, guys.